I would
Yo
love to
guys,
know
hello,
who
hello,
Mansilli's
hello,
favorite
welcome to
player
the
is.
watch
You know, we need to get him
party.
to tell us.
Welcome
But
to
of
the
course, at the
SEN
XLG meet
watch
and
party.
greet, Sentinels might at
क्या
this
हाल है
point
सबके,
even
क्या
take
हाल है,
them on.
क्या
We
हाल
made
है,
that
क्या
joke
हाल है?
earlier because
तो
after
20
defeating the
मिनट में मैच
third
चालू
seed of
होने वाला है पर
CN,
मैंने watch party पहले
Christy,
ही
they're
चालू
now
कर दी
about to
because
focus.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
They're trying to get
So
Zek in
welcome,
on these like
welcome, welcome,
early
welcome to the
lines.
watch
Like you saw
party.
him playing
जो
really
भी लोग
active
आए,
in B
thank
main
you.
because that
Welcome
Viper
to
wall
the watch
cuts off
party.
the
मैं
cross on
खाना
site.
लेके आया
So
chat 2 मिनट.
trying to get him these duels,
So
they
till
just
then
weren't
just
really
watch
going his
party
way.
अपना
And
खाना वाना
I
लेके
would have
आओ,
loved
जो
to
भी
see
तुम्हें
is
पीना है
getting
पीना
that
है.
op online. Because if teams are going to
Just,
contact
you
into
know,
you,
prepare it
that's a
अपना
free
है
kill.
जो
Yeah.
I mean,
variation of different looks that I was talking about when we were discussing Sentinels, right? They were kind of predictable in how slow they were playing, and there were rounds where Team Liquid were able to just sit on sites and expected BLG to run their fake across the map, and they kind of read, hey, this is not enough util for it to be real, and just sat on site. So, and another thing too is Wizzy's aggression, I think, will definitely get checked here today.
Well, BLG, they have given the SEN fans something to cheer for, and Jen caught up with their IGL Nef a little bit earlier.
Hello everyone, Jen here with Nef. Now Nef, Sentinels had a close game with Wolves yesterday, so did you see anything you can maybe exploit today?
I think we definitely saw some of their habits. Then we discussed with our coach and all our players, and I think we found some habits that we could really abuse, and we hope to show that in our game today.
Yeah. So do you like the fact that you're facing Sentinels?
I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm quite happy. I mean, after we won against Liquid, I said on the desk that I wanted to face Sentinels, and my hope came true.
All right, good luck today.
A lot of Nef's, takes and hopes have come true for those that do, watch him stream and stuff. He's pretty vocal about these sort of things. But I want to talk about his teammate Rusha real quick, because Mel, very much like Bang on the other side for him, he had so much impact for his team, and that Harbor was just great.
Right, I'm really excited to see the controller v controller matchup here, because I think controller in itself is such a slept-on role, but really we see so many players like Russia, like Bang, who can completely take over games purely off of their mechanics, right? I'm so impressed with Russia's firepower and in situations where he doesn't have a lot of util, the decisions he makes and the peaks that he makes.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like late round, like clutch situations, right? Which angles is he going to be taking? Like, he was so money for the team, and when things were getting close, when things were looking like maybe it could slip back into TL's way, all of a sudden you have Rusha coming up with rounds like this, just knocking out 3-4 players to win it through.
And I just love the way he spoke about his debut as well afterwards. He was getting pretty excited about the fact that fans outside of SEN were starting to take notice and starting to support him as well. There is one player, though, I think we were very excited about coming into this. It is YZ. And did he deliver?
Oh, did he deliver? He maybe gave a little bit too much. Like, this guy was crazy. Look, this is the X-Factor player for BLG. Super aggressive, super quick with it as well. And the iconic thing that you have to get in your head with YZ is he will always keep pushing. The S key on his keyboard doesn't exist. Got rid of that one, doesn't matter. He will, after a site is taken, always be looking for that next kill back towards the enemy spawn.
What's so entertaining about watching players like YZ is that when you're in the server, you're thinking, all right, at some point this guy's gonna stop pushing. Like, he knows that we know that we all know that he's gonna push, right? And he just keeps doing it. So that's something that SEN is gonna have to keep their eye on in their own spawn, actually.
Yeah, it's wild to think about. But the other thing I think that YZ does that's pretty cool with BLG is sometimes they'll run these round opens where they'll go for like an early fight, show a ton of utility, and then just YZ will scale up into a ton of forward space, like up into like Garage Haven, for example. And then he'll sit there and the rest of the team will leave, and he'll become like this quick lurk for the team in a lot of different rounds, which is a very unexpected coming out of the duelist role, and definitely was catching the TL off guard.
And I'm so happy to see kind of a different duelist coming out of SEN, because for so long it was always Kanka, him being able to perform on the global stage, and YZ is a very exciting player to watch. So let's hear what he had to say after BLG's Toronto debut in this Omen player moment.
我觉得打 Team League 这场的话，就是对面的表现还是要明显高于我们的预期的。其实觉得今天对队伍的发挥还是挺满意的，但是对于我自己的话，我知道自己可能太久没有打比赛了，然后在比赛的一些很重要的决策，我老是会做错吧。总体来说，感觉还是比较开心的吧。然后也发现了自己还有很多的不足的地方要去改正。觉得对于这方面的话，其实没有太多的压力和想法吧。我觉得作为队伍的话，我们最重要的就是做好我们队伍该做的事情。
Spot anything out. Here's the swing in though. Russia gets himself on the board. The kill around, re-peeks and instantly gets the dink, and the straight out is okay.
然后就也很开心，我们这次把握了机会，然后来到这次大师赛。我觉得我们就是要一直不断的提升自己的比赛状态吧。其实对于我来说的话，我觉得这只是一个开始吧，就是不像之前那样子老觉得我们什么国力在手上啊，什么进8强这种。我现在觉得就是不拿到冠军，什么几强都是风轻云淡的吧。
Can you blame him for feeling that way? You know, after coming to the global stage a couple of times now, Mel, they're aiming for that trophy this time around.
Right, and I think it would be a good start to do it here. I mean, they are up 1-0, they're up against Sentinels. If they do want to prove that they are of the caliber to potentially win this tournament, now is the time.
Now, before we get into the first match, I thought we'd do one more fun thing. You know what? I have the two of you here.
Fine.
And what's more fun than getting your tier list screenshotted, post onto social media, and having people, you know, yap away about your choices? So we're going to do that in blind ranking. It's very simple. I'm going to give you a player in order. You have to tell me where you're going to put them in so far in the tournament, where you would rank them.
I see.
1 to 5. Once you've locked them into a position, you cannot move them. Are we ready?
This is truly the
All right.
TikTokification of the VCT broadcast.
What? You can't mention. Yes, ma'am.
I got you.
You got me with a brain rot. But let's start with an easy choice, I feel like. Where would you put your boy Bang?
Bang.
Oh, I mean,
1
we're
to 5.
Bang stands here. I'm personally either 1 or 2 here, right?
Oh,
minimum
I feel
1
like
or 2.
there are better players that I think are going to make this list. I will go 2.
2?
I'll concede 2. I'll concede.
Yeah.
2.
Ooh,
I want to leave options open.
Open. That's important.
Yep.
All right.
I've played these games before.
This
on
is
TikTok.
very cordial so far. I thought maybe you would debate a little bit more.
No, we're
I
just
mean, you
both
opened
Bang
up with Bang,
stands,
so.
Love that. Right, next. Forsaken.
Forsaken, see? That's why you got to leave some room open.
We're only on the
okay.
second one. So.
Is it? I mean, is it a hard thing to say 1?
I think we have to go 1.
I think we have to go 1.
Yeah.
I feel like it's rude to put him at 3.
Yes,
like, it's
I agree.
genuinely
I agree.
rude.
Yeah, with the tenure on the international stage, yeah, it's a 1.
It's a 1. It's a 1.
Yeah.
Are we sure?
I think so.
All right.
Honestly,
I
I'm confident in that.
I fear we've gone too high
Okay.
immediately.
I know.
There you go. He can just be, you know, there. He's so good. We can
Okay.
have 2 of them.
Wow.
Next one. Let's see. I'm intrigued to see what you think about this. Kiko, the other half of Cats. How are we feeling about this? They
Okay.
lost, but he had a good performance.
That's true. Keiko played great, but I feel like we kind of have to lean towards the bottom of the list here, just
agree.
purely off the
Wow.
result. He's in 0-1 right now.
I'm really scared that we're going to get like a demon player, and because we've already filled up 1 and 2, like
This is gonna look like a crazy list.
I'm going to go 5. I'm going to go 5. I fear.
Yeah, I'm in agreement
5?
with you.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I had nothing to do with this.
I don't feel good about any of this so
No,
far.
me either. I feel horrible.
I'm not involved. I'm just a tool. I'm merely a tool. Next, we got the player that's going to be playing on stage first today, Wisey.
Wisey, okay.
Okay. But here's the thing. Who could be next after him? Like, this is so tough to put him between 3 or 4.
I mean, we still have like a texture. We've got.
I know,
we have
that's what
like
I was
an
thinking.
Os boss is.
But if we're going by current events,
By current events, it's probably 3. But I think our last player has to be a demon.
Well,
that's true.
They have to be a demon. I want to go 4 with Wisey. But
I'm
again,
down.
I don't feel
I'm
good
in
about
agreement.
this.
Me either. Me either. I'm in agreement.
are you 4?
Yeah.
Are we
it's
sure?
a blind ranking.
All right, we're locked. Oh my goodness. You can also just
It would be
there as
cool
well.
if this was posted as just ranking.
okay.
Omit the blind. I would lose it. I'd have to deactivate all socials, never show my face again.
There we go. It's just rankings now.
Wow.
It's just rankings now. Last but not least, you do not have a choice. We're going to default him on 3rd. We got texture.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Thank
good.
God. I'm
Saved.
glad. Okay.
Saved.
Okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Would you change anything here?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, are we thinking the same thing? Hold on.
Are we thinking who we
Swap
started
2 and
with?
3 at the very minimum.
Yeah, 2
Oh,
and 3.
And
texture
you
too?
could make an argument for 2 back to 1.
Yeah.
Well, it's called blind ranking for a reason. I don't think it was too bad. I don't think you were going to get screenshotted out of context.
We're on like the same wavelength though. I like
Yeah,
this.
we were quite alive.
Good job, good job. I mean, for now, I'm going to let you guys chill for 2 seconds because you know, worked so hard there. And throw this over to John QT, who spoke about Sentinel's opening win over Wolves and the Toronto crowd in this Omen player moment.
The game went well, 2-0. Had a bumpy start, but it is kind of expected with the first game jitters. Definitely, they're a very good team and they came prepared. Yeah, I could notice in some like 3v3 situations, like low man situations, they kind of like showed their inexperience. I felt like definitely looked like a team that's kind of new to internationals, but they also showed a lot of resilience. Yeah, they came very prepared. I think even though they lost 2-0, it's a good experience for them, and I think they'll be better moving forward, for sure. I think we are now settled in, and I don't think it will be as close.
John clutching for the series. Spring and Lysol doubled up, straight through smoke is wild, it's wayward, and Spring gets it to half. Now off of it, looking to team up with Lysol here, and John has very little to look at, somehow finds Spring, and he doubles down!
And also, like, the home crowd is insane. Like, I had high expectations and it still surpassed them. The whole crowd was red, they were so loud, so many fans, like, yeah, I feel like NA definitely deserved an international. Yeah, appreciate all the fans that came here, supported us. Either you live in Canada or came from far away. We see the love, we appreciate it, makes us play better.
You're welcome, John. I came all the way from Berlin to support him. What about you?
He was not talking about
I think he was exclusively talking
yeah, okay.
to me and me only.
Wants to be on the team so bad.
Where did you come from to support SEN? You know, how far did you travel? Further than Berlin?
Look, I came from the camp of a team like G2, so I had to come a really far way to comment.
Okay. And Mel?
Me?
What about you?
Like how far I came? Like 20 minutes? Like 20-minute drive?
That's dedication,
but
Mel.
still,
That
I mean, I
is
got out of bed, like
Toronto
dedication.
traffic too?
yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I love that. That's dedication from Mel. And it's time for the results of our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier, we asked you who will win the Battle of the Pacific, and the results are in 63.1% towards PaperX. Do you guys agree with this? Is this where you went as well?
Is the PaperX train overbooked? Just a question. I feel like this should be a bit more 50-50 now.
Oh, you're surprised with how
I'm a little
dominant
shocked.
it is. Okay.
Yes.
yeah, I'm also I'm leaning slightly Gen G later on.
How
But again, I
slightly
feel
as
good
well?
about nothing I'm saying today because the teams are so close.
Do you know what? Why? Let's just take a look at where we went, because I've been terrible with the predictions so far, but I believe today is the day where I'm gonna apparently still carrying on being the odd one out. I'm really surprised that at these situations I'm still the odd one out.
Look, it was literally just full Sentinel, so we had to cut the graphic instantly.
Yeah.
No, put it. Oh wait, there's one
Okay,
BLG.
Hinze saving again.
Okay, I thought it was a
God.
curse and we were trying to avoid that, but that's good.
These are the exact same preds as yesterday, essentially, in
honestly,
terms of Sentinels.
It's always Sentinels for me, because against EDG, I was the only one. Against Wolves, I was the only one. Against BLG, I'm the only one again. What is going on?
I don't know.
Hello, Abhinav.
Honestly,
hello,
I think you're crazy.
Welcome
is
to
the
the
truth,
watch
because
party,
that's
right?
Sentinels.
Welcome.
We
we
need
need
her
you,
to be
but we
crazy
need
for
you.
that,
Sorry,
the counter
Jinx.
jinx.
Oh, you think I'm doing it for the counter jinx?
I
I'm
mean, we
having
appreciate your work.
typical Gujarati
Okay,
dinner.
everything we can get.
I'm
Dhokla
gonna
and
say
ours.
it with chess. I am doing it specifically not for the counter jinx. I truly believe Billy Gaming are going to beat Sentinels today, and everyone out there right now hates me for it because it's all
They're
Sen
just shaking their heads like, what?
It's just pure Sen jerseys out here today. But if
It's just a sea of red.
it literally
It
is.
really
I can see
is.
it. I can see it. But it's gonna feel so good if I'm somehow right. Now every tournament has a turning point, and today will be one of them. 4 teams will take the stage, but only 2 will move on to playoffs. Tomorrow, it's
मैं mic से दूर
time to
बैठा हूँ,
get
इसलिए low आ रही है।
behind your teams. The fight for playoffs between Sentinels, Billy, PaperX,
इसलिए low आ
and
रही
Gen
है।
G starts
नहीं तो मैं
right
तो
now.
बैठा ही हूँ, इधर ही बैठा।
전 젠지에 오면서 이렇게 큰 무대까지 오는 게 되게 기쁘면서 좋고요.
गेम स्ट्रीम कब
처음에
करेगा? अरे मेरा ना
들어오면서 우승했던 형들을 보다
FPS
보니까
इशू आ रहा है गेम में, तो मुझे
옆에서
पहले
긴장도
वो
많이
FPS
했고,
इशू सुलझाना पड़ेगा।
물론 배울 좀 더 많다 보니까 금방 적응하면서
खेल तो मैं जो
잘
मुझे
풀어나가고
खुद को स्ट्रीम करना है भाई, मुझे खुद को
I
गेम
was
स्ट्रीम
really
करना है,
confident,
बट
but
मेरा
at the
FPS
same
इशू
time,
आता
maybe a
है
little bit nervous because
while
we haven't
streaming.
been playing on international stage for quite some time. And the last
तो
time we
मुझे
played,
पहले
we
वो
didn't
फिगर
do
आउट
that.
करना पड़ेगा कि कौन सी सेटिंग चेंज करूंगा कि वो गेम कब होगा,
I
मतलब
wasn't really
स्ट्रीम
sure
कर
what to
पाऊंगा कि
expect,
नहीं।
but now I'm really confident because I see that we can still play and we are still really good.
우선 페이퍼렉스가 되게 좀 공격적이면서 상대방이 약간 예측 못할 정도로 약간 공격력이 있다 보니까 그거에 있어서 좀 무섭기도 하지만 그래도 오늘 했던 경기처럼 팀원들이랑 열심히
भाई बैकग्राउंड आवाज
해가지고
बंद
이기도록
होते हैं मेरे
하겠습니다.
मैक्सिमम।
Overall, I'm thinking of my team more.
पर
Of
वो
course,
होता है ना
individually, I want to play well as well, but I hope every player in my team is like maximum confidence and we play really well as a team.
सिस्टम खुद देता है वो बैकग्राउंड हाउस मेरे को वो बंद करने जाओ तो वो आता है विंडोज विल शट डाउन तो मैं रिस्क लेता ही
좋은
नहीं
선수가 될 것입니다.
One day, I believe PaperX will be the best team in the world.
तो मेरे को वो देखना पड़ेगा क्या एडजस्टमेंट करना है मेरे को
当时总体还是比较难受的吧，因为就是距离参加曼谷大赛就是只有一步之遥吧。然后我们也输了一场很可惜的比赛，然后但最后我们就是调整好心态嘛，因为比赛不是只有这一次，我们后面还有很多机会的。然后就也很开心，我们这次把握了机会，然后来到这次大师赛。其实对于我来说的话，我觉得这只是一个开始吧，就是不像之前那样子，老觉得我们什么国际赛首胜啊，什么进8强这种，我现在觉得就是不拿了冠军，什么几强都是风轻云淡的吧。
BLG and NEF are very experienced. They made it to a lot of internationals. Obviously, they didn't have the deepest run, but they're a team on the come up. To be honest, it's probably our favorite pick because we just beat Wolves and we kind of want to keep playing the Chinese teams. I think it's always fun playing against them, so looking forward to it.
我觉得我们就是要一直不断的提升自己的比赛状态吧。我觉得我们第一场比赛的话，其实是包括我自己啊，然后就是状态没有提升到最好的那一步吧。然后我希望就是后面的比赛，我们所有人团队的所有人能够一起把状态提到最胜，然后我们觉得是有机会去拿冠军的。
Definitely a lot of mind games now that all the teams kind of showed their cards. It's going to come to a lot of adaptability and like being able to think on the spot and make new plans.
这也我从来不关心别人质不质疑我，我觉得质疑声越多我越开心吧，我就喜欢别人质疑我。
Sorry, Duros. To be honest, you guys don't want to see Sentinels next.
Okay guys, Sentinel versus BLG starts now.
Billy Gaming versus Sentinels.
Both teams had a great start in their opening matches, but that was just a warm-up compared to the stakes today. Playoffs are on the line.
Yeah, first team moving on out of the Swiss stage here, and it'll be Sentinels going up against the number 2 seed out of China. This match is going to be a good one.
Honestly, I can't wait to see what maps are going to be played here. And we have a Sunset pick out of Sentinels.
Okay.
Out the gate.
I mean, as we take a look here at the Omen map select, like you said, Mel, Sunset is going to be chosen by SEN. This is what we wanted, right? Even in the opening match, we wanted to see them go to Sunset.
Which this is so insane because in their opening match, they first banned Sunset. This is complete. I can't imagine like this isn't going to take them off guard.
I think they must have seen something from that Billy game that they could maybe have an answer to.
Yeah, they have the VODs and maybe just, let's have 7 maps in the pool. Let's make sure we can play everything with high aspirations to make it towards best of 5s towards the end of the tournament. I also think it's quite interesting opening things up on Icebox here. It's a map we haven't seen Sentinels play since the nerfs to Taeho. That's a map that we still had John playing the Taeho on. Not every team was rocking the Taeho there, but what agent is he even going to play, Mel?
That's what I'm wondering. There's so many different options. We've seen Sentinels play so flexibly in so many different agents. I'm ready for anything, but I'm specifically looking that this could get a little spooky here for Sentinels, considering Wisey's aggression is very rewarded on a map like Icebox.
Yeah.
And
I was just gonna say, you saw him like pushing so far forward, whether it was through Viper walls or even like going through like kitchen and fighting back towards spawn on the attacking side.
I think it's so interesting that for Billy, they get to play 2 out of the 3 maps we have already seen against Liquid. And for SEN, how have Billy been preparing for this, Mel? They don't have footage on the first 2.
Exactly. Honestly, that's where I'm wondering where this is gonna go. And I think a lot of it is gonna rely on what they were saying in that video was adaptability on the fly. And we are going to see, are these Chinese teams capable of doing that on the fly right here, right now?
Yeah, you also have to keep your eyes on Icebox. Like, this is a map where Rushio was absolutely popping off on the Harbor pick, was looking really strong there just the other day in his debut.
I love the Harbor so much. But if it's anyone that knows how to deal with that, it's probably going to be SEN. You know,
they play against plenty of it, for sure.
They're familiar with the Harbor here. But what would you like to see John QT do here? We saw the Sky already. We saw a Viper too.
Yeah.
What are his realistic options here?
I mean, one of the first thoughts my mind goes to is Sova, but at the same time, you know, Narrate does play Sova. I could definitely see them going back to something standard like Sova, KO. You really can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
They have two great players on both of those roles.
Because most recently they have been playing Zekken on the Omen. They've been playing no duelist on that map. And you know what, like you are bringing up Sova. John did play a little bit of Sova early on in the year, back when Sentinels were playing like Abyss, for example, but we haven't seen him playing it on Icebox. And that is an agent that you do have to put the hours in to get up to speed on a map.
Yeah, and looking at what Billy are going to run, because we don't anticipate them to change anything. Icebox look pretty solid against a Liquid. Is there anything maybe SEN can just do to counter, you know, their Harbor Viper comp with their agent select?
I think in terms of reading into the Harbor Viper comp, they need to be very vigilant about the Cove usage. If Sentinels is going to start attack, or if they're on defense, they need to constantly be aware of the Cove and whether they need to break it.
Yeah, I also think that you need to do like some amount of exploiting the timings of the Harbor walls, because like if you're attacking into a Harbor Viper, like you can just get permanently stalled out, it feels like, over towards the A side of things, especially if you can't find a way to like break through the wall when they're recycling that. So a lot of teams, a lot of times, teams will try to bait that utility and bait that Harbor wall out before like a quick pivot or a fake on the other side.
Exactly, and I'm specifically looking towards Sentinels on the defense here, because just yesterday they did struggle against a double controller comp on Split when Sentinels started on the defense, and I'm expecting to really, expecting Zekken to step up here and get those opening kills that we did not see him get in that first half of defense Split.
He's got to, right? And especially it depends what his agent is going to be, because, you know, we haven't seen him play the duelist on this map on a little while, but he is so key, I think, in Sentinel's game plan, especially when it comes to like having any amount of forward information, the lines he's going to be holding, whether that's an operator or with the rifle in his hands. If he's not firing on all cylinders, they're going to struggle.
I mean, Sentinels, they have the Pope on their side, so I don't know what Billy can do.
Is that the new Pope?
In this matchup, it's going to be a tough one for them. I also do wonder, on the side of Billy, who are they sending out to match Zelsis? We saw on the side of Wolves, Sufa BB was up there, was giving it right back to him, and we saw really the impact you can have when you can get into the heads of some of the SEN players. Billy, I don't know, K-Knight maybe?
I'm not sure. I know Neff was very chill and nonchalant when he was up here in the post-show yesterday, so I'm going to assume it's not going to be Neff, and YZ is also that silent killer kind of duelist, so not looking at him for that either.
Yeah, I do want to highlight on the other side of things, though, Narrate, because this guy came back into the server just the other day and was looking real strong with Sentinels. Again, like, you think about like a few of those like really clutch rounds, these moments on Split from Narrate, where he was just absolutely sharp, and on like the bonus round as well, that got them snowballing in this comeback in the second half. And on top of that, his cross-map utility with the breach on setting up his teammates was just excellent.
And in those rounds where they were down in the first half, where it was a pretty lukewarm start, we saw him being pretty yappy, pretty emotional, and pretty, I guess, talkative in those rounds, Mel, which I definitely didn't expect coming out of him.
Yeah, what I'm liking seeing the most out of Narrate here is the fact that he's really coming up to the occasion, right? Like, they were down 4-8. He comes in with a 3K on the pistol to bring them back in. He's the ultimate example of composure for Sentinels.
If Sentinels double down with a Tejo, it will be the first Tejo we see at Masters Toronto, and not something we would have expected.
And we are seeing Russia lock in that Harbor. Two people instantly locking. I think one of my favorite parts about the live agent select is really just seeing how instantly some players lock and how some like to play around and wait and kind of give us that anxiety.
I really hope they play Sage. I'm such a big Sage enjoyer on this map, Ender.
I'm an enjoyer too, but I just don't really think that's in the Sentinels' wheelhouse, all things considered. I think SEN have a lot of experience playing up against this BLG comp. This is a comp that a lot of teams over in America's Crew, MIBR, love to run, even going back into last year with Leviathan. This is pretty stock standard. It's going to be John QT going over to the KO, all things considered. So KO, Gecko, double flashes, and a lot of options to like fight past these double smokes that BLG are running.
This is really interesting, and I think it's going to pair exactly into what you just said. Getting in front of those walls and disrespecting the controller util is, I think, the best thing that Sentinels can do.
Also, catching good knife timings against a Viper or a Harbor completely invalidates that cycling of utility to hold onto the A site.
M80, well, you'll always be famous. You'll always be famous. I can't wait to get into this one with playoffs on the line. It's time to send it over to the big dog.
Hello, collectors भैया, hello. बस बढ़िया. Trying to be consistent streaming के लिए, but you know device held back. Sorry, मैं थोड़ा बाहर गया था, मुझे काम था. My bad. Hi collectors भैया. बस मैं try कर रहा हूँ मैं consistent हो जाऊँ streaming के लिए, because अब जब भी मैं stream करता हूँ game capture तो capture कर रहा है, बस you know it gives me FPS issues. तो मुझे वो खोद के देखना पड़ेगा कि मैं you know क्या निकाल सकता हूँ.
Expecting SEN to win this game, kind of writing off Billy entirely, feeling like this is SEN's to lose, easiest path to the playoffs for them. But Billy, sometimes a volatile team, but when they hit hard.
Pistol round.
YZ.
Coming in, folks. Eyes on YZ, like he pushed up. A second, getting in their face already.
Omen okay.
Trying to get up towards that Belt's directions, gets his, but YZ is still standing.
That's something that Billy are going to have to be aware of playing on attack. It's so easy for the Omen to get some of these forward positions. Play from Belt, play from Pipes.
No Sentinels presence here at A, and they're not convinced that that's where Billy are ending yet. Of course, Elsis has pushed up, ready to watch a drift back in the B direction, which is a little bit more tightly held, but just now, these rotates are coming through to the A side. Billy looking to pave the way.
They're just biding their time. They're seeing if anyone from Sentinel's backside would have gone for a peek. Maybe they can get a man advantage that way. Nev spots out Zelsis. Okay. Everyone from B rotating.
Wolves same कर रहे थे.
They certainly do now. He has to convert. Nev finding the advantage for Billy as the rest of the team pivot back towards this B side, and it looks like he wants to go for more. What a shot!
Out of nowhere comes Nev. Heads are rolling. The IGL from Billy making an early statement.
30 seconds left.
Nice little pivot back here from our Chinese number 2 roster.
Those are some crazy
See
shots.
the vulnerability of Zelsis in mid
Crazy
shots.
That is a cheeky plan too for mid under tube. You don't see that often. And Nere was already even tagged up by that additional damage from Neff, who goes insane to open this game up.
Beautiful opener. That early aggression for second isn't something that Sentinels can really convert off of, even though it does give them that initial pick-off.
Nasty.
Maybe वैसा ही move बना रहा जैसा Neff बनाता है खेलते.
And also just credit to Neff for finding that perfect window.
I literally kind of, you know,
the team dragged the rotates, and then he knows that that is.
मैं छोटा ही कर लेता है. मेरे मुंह पे expression आ जाता है जब भी मैं focus करने जाता हूँ.
Well played, well called.
It's composition
By
as well.
default focus वो मुंह बन जाता है मेरा भी.
From Sentinels, right? It lacks duelist. We've seen Zekin on the Omen on this
Technical
map
pause.
It is obviously the kind of, you know, agent that you can post up with an op at some moments, but there's no real scan initiator on this Sentinels roster. KO, of course, can 0 point in, but outside of that, it's pretty flash heavy.
Icebox triple controller meta
Yeah, those 0 points are going to have to get a lot of value. They're great on attack, they're throwing back yellow, etc. Last time we saw Sentinels on this Icebox map, it was in that playoff run in Americas. And they beat G2. That was with the Tejo. But even still, that was the first time an America's team beat G2 in a full series. So they are no joke on this map. Billy picking into one of their better looks in the pool.
Yeah, we saw this
comp. It's going to be evenly matched.
We saw Billy obviously face up against that Liquid squad, right? And they sort of mentioned they were not really satisfied with that win, and it was a, I think it's safe to say, slightly weakened Team Liquid that we saw turn up for their first game here. That won't be an issue going forward, but this would be a real result, and that is a very illuminating 0 point early.
Again, ये वह मैं बस
opting to buy in fairly light here.
SEN की watch party करूँगा उसके बाद let's see. मैं I guess विश्वास भैया जो हमारे प्रोग्रामर भाई हैं उनसे थोड़ा tips मांग लूँगा कि FPS कैसे boost करूँ. Because the thing is कि मुझे stream करना है. I have to be consistent. I have to be goddamn consistent. नहीं तो you know XGG नहीं होता है. So yes, थोड़ी consistency रखनी पड़ेगी मुझे.
John at least has this one-way poison orb that he can play off of, but it's unlikely he's going to be able to encourage a bounce back to A for Billy. And now they hear the marshal ring out, they know it's about to get heavy. Pressure on John as he backs away.
Don't pick that shit.
Harbor wall's going to be set up now. SEN will have a chance to fight for this.
Looks like YZ wants to Go Hunting playing up top, unexpected position.
Takes a bit of damage, drops on down. The rest of Sentinels are considering throwing themselves at the situation. Knight from Yellow spray through that Viper wall. His double controller can be very oppressive to play against, and YZ finds a time to get back in. Knight cleans off Narrate, trying to control from Crow's Nest. And Zekin and John. Yeah, not long for this one. Great little shock dart that catches the KO out, and Zekin has not got much to do. Just him do fork over 5 ult orbs to Billy here in this anti-eco.
Cleaned up with these, the actual guns brought into that round, recovered as well from Billy, so can't really ask for anything more than that. Sentinels going to be our first full fly.
Bad luck for John Cutie, bhai.
So it's a stack for SEN over on the A side that doesn't really pan out. Billy just spidey senses tingling. They opt not to commit.
मेरा भी बढ़िया मस्त लैपटॉप गेमिंग लैपटॉप या पीसी आ गया.
Rifles in hands now. Still a Marshall for Nev, Guardian for
He grind करने वाला हूँ मुझे ही पता है.
YZ takes a big hit early. And he's, my goodness, the audacity to stand and fight that. Ends up being a trade. Happy enough with that for the attack side on your bonus.
Kano wanted to go for more swing off of that, but didn't actually have a second player to then go with him.
तो
So that offers an opportunity for SEN to even things up. Not without 2 of their additional players, those else have been taking a significant amount of damage. Again, Zekin is
तुम्हारे
just going to
streaming
take
room का
advantage of
rate
his
क्या है मेरे को
teleport. Any decent opportunity he can find
Then
on
मेरे को मेरा
defense,
पूरा schedule
get
उस
into
हिसाब
these
से manage
angles,
up करना
other players
पड़ेगा.
couldn't.
Because the thing is मेरा third year भी है.
There's no variation on the poison orb. One way that we see.
भी और internship भी चालू करना है really next year. Recon and
slowed
ride
down
बड़ी
BLG towards green. Am I up to pull the pin on this
हमारे the goat
in mid, so
programmer
this
के
one's spot
पास
enemy.
ride बड़ी है.
BLG attempt to thrust up that
So
part of the map.
it's
SEN have
cool.
2 players distributed
It's nice,
today.
it's amazing. भाई I'm happy.
Just hoping that
अपने लोगों का जब तक development होना भाई, be happy भाई. At the end of the day, if they are progressing, तुम्हारा भी एक part है उसमें. You are also, and I'm not like credit नहीं ले रहा हूँ. It's genuinely तुम्हारा एक part है because you have seen that person grinding. तुमने उसकी मेहनत देखी है.
Good little line to run it one way. Russia, how?
The jump peak.
2 headshots. Absurd against Liquid Russia. Also incredible game from him. Big step up and in a pivotal role on this harbor.
Yeah, we are saving.
Cracks that A side open.
We are saving.
That play should not be happening. That is not realistic.
And yeah, much more success to all the people जो हमारे circle में stream कर रहे हैं. अभिनव भी stream करता है. अभिनव को भी जब भी chat में बैठा है अभिनव भाई all the best to you too. सब एक साथ success होता है.
Be pretty attack favors is coming back in the pool with just A-hit slams, especially when you have the harbor. It's so oppressive. It's so difficult to get back in
because
those
at the end everybody are grinding to be at the best version of themselves.
Some extra guns. Knows there's a very likely going to be a turret awaiting him in kitchen. And I'm getting deja vu. This is reminiscent of SEN's start against Wolves on split. They lose the pistol and the bonus. And then the timeouts start rolling in as they look for an answer.
Yeah, they just did not come into that game yesterday looking warmed up at all. It took until that second half. It took until Narrate stepped up, wins a clutch, inspires the rest of his teammates with some confidence.
By the way guys, जो लोग stream इस same पे या फिर इस channel पे नए आए, make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I will try कि मैं कुछ जुगाड़ करूँ ताकि मैं game stream कर सकूँ.
And I don't blame him because neither can
yes, इसी के साथ please make sure to subscribe. We are on goal to road to 500 subs.
Look at the amount of rifles they recovered. Look at their economy already. 4 players at 5K or so.
There's going to be a lot of work for SEN to try and keep a lid on this, and again it's Narrate embroiled in an early engagement. YZ doubles down.
7-1 for him already. YZ is a relentless player. He only holds down W. He will always go for more. Even if there's not util to support him, he'll just play off whatever he's got. He's going to always take the fight to you.
And Narrate now is learning that the hard way. No chance to deploy any of that Gecko util falling early. John's about to swing this from lower rafter. Does he have a timing on Knight? Gives himself up.
And in the meantime, yeah, look at Neff. He has worked his way up too. Again, this turret has been watching this position. So if he goes a bit further, he's going to have to break that. The rest of Billy making a late round pivot towards B. This has been the name of the game for them so far. Send that one lurker, typically Neff, get some space, which he succeeded at. Pressure the other side of the map with a pack and then pivot back.
Second tried to put that one-way back up there wide, but looks like Billy a little bit too fast for him. Caught out of green here by this Nano Swarm, and Levius is affected by the paranoia. So Zekin decides to tuck in Snowman. SEN want to take a pitched engagement here after the plant.
It is dangerous. Their harbor is down, so they don't have that additional high tide to actually obscure the view from these angles. And Zekin takes full advantage of that.
3v3.
Not enough power to keep that Viper wall up, so K9 can actually get away.
Challenging the dig BLG out of these entrenched positions around the B side. Zelsis, though, does get a spot. That 0 point was pretty helpful. Does he drop down and take a fight? He's looking for a gun barrel. Sees it on the right, but Nev's too quick with the left side swing. John will flash himself out here. Zekin has to take that yellow fight, and John succeeds. It's all on Wisey now. A great start to the round, but he can't quite land the plane. That is a hard-fought round for Sentinels to win. And it's very costly to get the defenders into the game.
Steady hands there of John, and a couple well-placed flashes to allow him to get back in that sight. Take out Levius, who was in a deep, entrenched position, tucked in that corner. That was Sentinels fully forced into the round after saving a couple rifles on the prior. If this had been converted by BLG, massive lead would have been taken.
And so much of this is built off the absence of Rusia. None of that harbor util to make it that much more difficult for SEN to locate these anchored positions from BLG.
K9's inability to escape after planting that spike was his undoing. That was nice from Zekin. Obviously, this BLG economy is out of control. They're going to keep buying, and they love just swinging from belt. Aggression with that cascade, covering up some of the potential dangerous angles. Just that standard harbor util to open up the round, send that forward, deny the defenders from the ease of getting that orb.
But even if they lose this round, BLG have that economy from such a sick start to keep the pressure on. Here's an Aldrone narrating in a pretty aggressive position, and bang, is there to follow up.
I mean, that is the most YZ-coded YZ play. Oh, I know where he is. Time to swing. I mean, just... And hey, so far, it's been working for him. I cannot blame him whatsoever.
It's been the same spot he's played from, though, and SEN had a high-low setup with Bang there, just pushing around pipe.
The defaulting
just overplay their hand a little bit, and we're running low on time. 43 seconds left in the round. No duelist up for BLG.
They're pushing it.
You can see it has drawn some attention from the defenders of SEN. Both initiatives pivoting towards that boiler position, mid position, and now the util is coming through from Billy to get into this site. When Rusia gets the spike down here, if he can get it down, and should in the cove, he's going to have the reckoning for the post plant. That could be enough to convert a 4 versus 5.
Take from the cove instead, Obster. Head up to Crow's Nest. He'll be posted up on 410. SEN, all 5 guns in the game for a retake. A very flash-heavy composition. First, it's a bit of information. Thrash is going to go ahead, see what he can spot out. Rushia's on top of 410, and he'll be brought down by Bang. He's been very snappy in these rounds. Nightfall's by the wayside. Now it's Neff and Levius who have to play from a long distance. Neff, IGL, all on his own, and that is stunning. It's up to Zelsis and John to bring him down, but John's on the defuse, still gets the job done. Ironclad nerds to keep the stick. Neff exits with 4. But not the round win.
Brutal damage done to SEN.
Oh no, they're not bankrupt, they won.
Coming into this, it's pretty appalling, and they're staring down the barrel of multiple ults. That reckoning wasn't actually used by Rusia. Didn't have the opportunity. Was a little bit focused, perhaps too much so on getting kills. He was posted up top here. Bang exploits the lack of anyone being able to trade for him. Just gets an isolated 1v1. And from there, it's also easy for the rest of the SEN players to pull back in, immediately pressure the spike. That was well played, but now they're in serious danger of getting put onto an eco.
The Aldrone again to dissuade. Narrates pretty forward positioning here off the rip. Okay, a cascade thrown out here, but BLG
nice setup
behind it. Moving to B early this time.
Nice setup. मेरा भी यही setup होता है कभी-कभी. When I'm playing Sunset in competitive, मतलब Icebox in competitive, maybe यही setup खेलता हूँ usually.
Delsis here has to play safely as he can. Harbor wall to follow up on the Viper one. The BLG under the cover of all of this site obscuring util will have their plant.
He's just walking through the walls.
But he can. He's not walking into a high-low setup like it was the previous round. It was that singular player of Zelsis. And he wasn't even in an aggressive spot. Viper's bit to follow up here. Zekin found Wisey though again.
Not slow down. He's just going to keep fighting.
Watch your flank, watch your flank.
What SEN are hoping for. They've evened up the odds now. Okay.
Here's the null command. Russia has to respect the fragment, stepping to the side of it now, still occupying this pit, but takes a big hit down to 30. It's dangerous, but Russia thrives in these circumstances, and the spray is good. 2 for the Harbor. Levy is now playing from Crow's Nest. Sees John on the low ground, but all these ultimates,
nice one,
it's just too much to handle. BLG close the round out.
That is just YZ opening up the round with a great kill onto Zelsis, always going to hunt for more. Ultimately, in that retake situation, there's just too much util remaining, too many ults remaining for the Billy side. Once this pick goes down before John is able to use the null command, they are in a horrific situation to get back in. And look, going into this, we're looking at a YZ that throughout stage 1 was able to be the highest ACS, highest kills per round player in China. And you're wondering, is that just because he's able to farm some of the lower tier teams, get away with things that he shouldn't be allowed to get away with as the competition scales throughout this tournament? Look, so far, he's had a couple misses, but he's hitting hard. 9 and 4 right now, finding good first kills.
In that series against TL, he's involved in 30 first engagements. Ends up 15 and 15 first kill, first death, but often on the Neon looking to create that early space and be traded. He's always looking for a fight, but it has hurt him on a couple of these rounds. Walking into a high-low setup, standing on top of Yellow, above the Viper's wall, where, you know, Second is easily able to pick him off. A couple of things there that can be his unraveling.
Got an early timeout call from Kaplan, can't blame him. Things are beginning to get out of hand for SEN. This is essentially a full eco right now. Kaplan said yesterday in the coach interview, midway through the game against Wolves after that first map, that it was difficult to execute our game plan. We're not used to their style. We're not used to the way that that region plays. It took time to adapt, to get in the game. And Billy, they're pretty unique. YZ, one of one player.
5 suppressed.
0 Point revealing all of BLG. They're on a slow roll in this A direction. Last time there was a stack here for SEN at A. On that round number 2, they pivoted away from it towards B. This time though, YZ's licking his lips, looking to put this Blade Sword to work. Reckoning also going to be deployed now. It's a lot for SEN to manage with these weaker weapons. And YZ, flown like a butterfly, gets hit pretty hard though there, dropped low. Zelsis did fall on the wayside. And here's K-Knight in to the cookie jar.
What ganda flank.
We'll have his meal. It's all on second now. We'll step up and let this one be done without much events.
Absolutely effortless with that Reckoning. I mean, when your positions are getting scrambled and you have to fight out in the open, awkward engagements with bad weapons, you're just absolutely fried. And that's going to be Billy's economy thriving in the latter part of this first half. Serious control of this game. Sentinels maybe just at least glad that all of those ultimates have been expended over the last couple rounds.
These early explorations for Billy been pretty effective, often pivoting away from a bomb site once they gain enough info. Now we're headed over towards the B direction, and as always, Nev trying to play through me, but this time John is ready. Playing from Boiler.
Oh, and Zekin just unaware of what's going on, and Zelsis tries to swing in for him. They end up going 2 for 2. Not a horrendous result. Safety in the cove to get this spike down for Russia. How do Billy want a position right now? They're going back into B main. Why is he going far away? It looks like he wants to try to
welcome to the
re-wrap
stream.
mid.
Welcome
The
to the
danger is
watch
spike
party.
Isn't exactly planted for him, so he's
SEN
gonna have to
ठुक
pick up
रही है,
the
but
pace
SEN आ
and
जाएगा.
really deep towards that site.
Wow, up on top of 2, but he's made a bunch of noise, and bang, is ready for him. Never change, YZ. 2 players over here towards Yellow. That's what BLG are working with in this post plan. John is readying a pop off this flash. Russia moves in. Oh my goodness, again! That is ungodly from Russia! In the mosh pit, not a care in the world. Another buy round from SEN, slapped down.
Swings out in the Molly. SEN a little too slow to react. Wall lined up. Again thrown onto an eco. This is brutal. Things getting so scrambled with the anchors here between Zelsis and Zekin.
This has again been the issue though. Look at SEN overwhelmed by this pace. Zekin is not ready for YZ to be so quick to Yellow. Zelsis, as a result, is caught out in the open, and they do well to go 1 for 1, 2 for 2 in that case. But still, they get overwhelmed.
But this really is some serious deja vu from yesterday against Wolves. The team from China starting on attack, hitting crazy shots, running over them mechanically. And it took SEN until the second half to get their heads in the game. But right now, things are getting completely out of hand. Feels even more so than with Wolves yesterday.
Here comes all of the Harbor util deployed. Cove placed it a little further into the open. K9 able to get a plunge, despite being a bit more exposed. And there's Rashia yet again. Sharpest attack. Narrate tries to show.
Just another reckoning already. Absurd.
And they're making great use of this now. SEN really having their jimmies rustled. Only with these sheriffs to go to work with. Another clean execute. BLG once more commit that reckoning into a half buy. An eco round for SEN just to secure it.
What was it, 2 rounds ago? I think on the other eco he had used one just to convert it with ease. Only a handful of opportunities for Sentinels left to get into this. As I mentioned earlier, this attack side on Icebox has certainly been favored since its return to the pool. Teams are just so overwhelming with their assaults on these sites. 2 is not nearly enough to play with. That just feels like an inevitability for Billy to take this when the sides swap. Another buy round, many ultimates to play with. Bang yet to get super involved on this map, and it's a map that I associate with his dominance. His anchoring here is typically fantastic, but just hasn't had opportunities to get things rolling just yet.
So far, though, Bang really has been the only antidote to the chaos that YZ has brought. Catching him as he, updrafted onto Tube or part of that high-low swing on A. SEN have not been able to string these rounds together. This time, though, they got ultimates that can dictate tempo a little bit more to the defenders' favor. Viper's pit there at B. Lockdown should have been needed, unless Zelsus gets flattened here.
I do like this setup from SEN. They have good information across the entire map. Controlling B main with the pit. They've got the turret to watch for players coming up to. Zelsus can watch under, just jiggling that angle. The sack on A. This is a solid setup.
पर वो ज़्यादा मतलब अडैप्ट होने में टाइम लग गया है.
Right, what is this split right now? The rare A split.
Okay, we've got some pressure coming from A main at the same time as well. Narrate has fallen on the side. John getting a little bit nervous, but he's going to spray him anyway. Oh, it's a 3-piece for the Moroccan mastermind. And he knows there are players on the side for Billy.
By John Cutie the goat.
Gets second up by Rafters to take the fight, but Levius beats him to the punch and through the smoke apparently.
John Cutie got this by.
Numbers are even now if both teams go for these lockdowns simultaneously. A Venn diagram of disaster in the middle as Zelsus waits on them to come on out and give them a fight. Boy howdy, SEN having to fight tooth and nail for every one of these rounds.
That was so chaotic. John again goes off. At the moment has been the catalyst for SEN getting rounds. Adjustment back, spray down, ready for the swing on the right from YZ. That was snappy aim again from the IGL.
Good call to fight mid, boys. Really good job fighting mid. I almost threw, but I'm goated.
I think self-affirmation is very important part of the tool set for a competitive player.
I love to see teams on attack go for the A split. It's very rare, but unfortunately, when you try to reinvent the wheel on Icebox, you lose
then I'm sorry, मैं ना 2-3 चीजें tweak कर रहा हूँ.
I think the A split
because अब मुझे थोड़ा
consistent
consistent होना पड़ेगा streaming के मामले में.
Keep on trying. I love to see the attempts. It is just so hard to pull off.
It's YZ this time. He's getting up tube very early. Obviously wants to listen out. Looking for his latest dose of diet milk.
Cover going out.
Oh, what happened to Zek in there? He's very, very low. Just some trades here. Shots through the one way, most likely. Favor Billy. And there's John.
Oh my God.
Nonchalant is YZ.
I'm liking this round from Billy right now with YZ fighting this middle area of the map, the rest of the team making a lot of noise B main, and then I believe they run away out of B main to try and audio cue a pivot. Is Narrate going to catch YZ here? He's trapped between 2 players.
Caught an audible. YZ now reveals himself. Narrate's got the timing. Finally, the thorn in the side for SEN has been extracted, but plant down a B behind all of this controller util.
That offered enough distraction that neither anchor could focus on main. Flash coming through Paranoia into B main as well. Counter Hunter's through. Just can't connect up to Narrate.
A little bit too low. Neither Narrate nor Zelsus affected. Rushia in this position, we saw him rip.
कल भी ऐसा ही हुआ था against इनके
This time a little bit more patient. Levy is in position for
टाइम लगता है भाई CN region और अमेरिका में जमीन आसमान का फर्क है ना according to comms.
It's favoring this Chinese squad. It is Russia dominating yellow again and again.
क्वालिफाई तो हो जाएगी सेन वैसे भी.
On land right now at this international event. He's stepping up from the last games we saw of him during their qualifying run. He was good, but he's hitting another level right now.
Just another reckoning just around the corner, by the way.
It is meant to just one more orb and he'll have it. BLG are just so proactive. They are just choosing to swing out together, find a timing where Sen are trying to move forward. They're catching them out in the open on these retake efforts.
Defensive null command is already here for John. Tough though to get ahead of this Viper Harbor comp that canvas off this B site so effectively.
You know, at no point Sen have even had a worthy enough economy to try and op in this half at all. It's never been an option. In this last one, Zelsis going to get more proactive, get down mid. BLG have certainly been sending silent lurks in that area of the maps, hoping to catch someone.
They're pinging Zelsis' location, but the turret's been extracted from that area. Levi's pulled it out. Neff doesn't quite have a sharp enough peek around the corner. Now Sen have that mid control this round.
I love that.
This can be
this
tough,
is a really
but
intelligent pivot.
Sen
So
मेरा
Sen
तेरा
pulling off this A side.
कभी नहीं आएगी.
Perhaps because of this. Reckoning comes in, Sen is going to give it up for the time
भरोसा नहीं
being.
है. I mean, tense retirement से आ जाए तो हो भी सकता है. पर वो आएगा 1-2 साल.
Gotta be joining the team now.
KK wants to get
वो कीबोर्ड के लिए खेल रहा है.
Somebody's triple swung. Sen are so prepared for that. Probably expecting YZ to be up there, to be frank, but
let's see what we can do.
Through the high tide, expect multi.
By the way guys, make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. मैं settings करने की try कर रहा हूँ ताकि I can come back on streaming. So make sure
Gets a second. How is he getting away with this? Levis and YZ now have to fight for this in a short-handed situation. He's on the spike location and in the middle of the dark cover. He dispatches Narrate. Now though overwhelmed, Zekin and Zelsis
थोड़ा
to the
बहुत
rescue.
comeback हो पाए मेरा stream पे.
Levis sees one of them, but he can't stop Zelsis.
Nice, we got this. Nice round, right, actually.
Getting that mid control, converting into a very important fourth
We need
round
this
for
round
Sen.
actually.
Deja vu vibes continue
economy
from their last game.
Zelsis really did play that last round fantastically. Him and John, the two players that have kept Sen in this game. 4 can be enough for this second half when you get rolling on attack.
All right, we've got more Icebox just around the corner as Billy makes a strong start. It's up to Sen City to come alive.
What's another death?
मुझे ऑडियो बंद करना है तो कॉपीराइट लग जाएगा.
Nice one, second. Nice one. Man, they're anchoring pretty well, yaar. Brave use कर. Brave क्या होता है भाई? I am uneducated in that matter. Educate me, please. Yo, मैंने क्या किया?
Pretty standard way to take yellow there. We're going to probably see that a couple more times in this half where you have Zek teleport across.
मैं भूल गया मैं game audio बंद था.
They're trying to see what he can find. YZ front and center delivers. Zek flattened Russia.
Oh my god, when they have
pick it up where he left off.
bodies.
And he'll have himself a DFUC here because of course we love Reckoning. Great ability.
I gotta say, the anti-ecos from Billy this game have been great. They are hardly taking any damage at all. A couple in the first half, they were committing the Reckoning to do it. There should be so many kills. He just kept cycling through those. It felt like it didn't even matter. But it has just kept them in this state where they are winning the economic game. SEN had to eco several times in that first half. And you see it on the timeline. They're not able to string anything together. Billy were just chilling the entire time. They even won the bonus on the first half. They don't take any of the upgraded rifles on that initial anti-eco. They still won it. Same case here. They have Bulldogs, a Guardian, a couple SMGs.
Sentinels need a clean first gun round here against Billy. Otherwise, things get awkward. Snake by here to dissuade any early aggression. Sensei, right, we'll wait this one out. In the middle of the dark cover is YZ, hovering over them like a spectre. Holding onto it as well, it's narrated and taken out, and he just drops back.
With the Spectre as well, and now they want to double up play back yellow. They have been spotted out by the 0 points here. Nice little cascade to play off. I like that Renusha giving good utility to support, to these anchors.
Slowly, Billy giving up this map control, but they're always forcing SEN to part with their util in order to do so.
Map GG.
Very expensive advancement for SEN across the map here.
Celsius is hoping to be on his Neff arc going
through
map
too. GG
hoping to have as much impact as the Viper did on those attack side lurks. He's hearing a lot of movement there, actually. Of the players going through kitchen. That should alert the rest of the team that they can get into this B site off the wall. And it's nice when you have those additional dark covers as well. You can cover up, obscure that angle from Snowman, make it safer to
Oh god. Zelsa surely has heard this. Looks like very quickly YZ got under tube. So Zelsa hasn't been able to be effective from this position outside of just radioing back some of this information.
Look at that second, puts a dark cover on the turret so he can get by undetected.
Big brain, man.
Maybe this is taken down here. Second, playing from yellow. Knight has to step up here. SEN got 3 guns in the game still. K-Knight needs to find a way to extract them. Maybe take Bank first. That is a big ass, and Zelsa's finally activates.
He's in the action.
Nice. Forced to honor away.
Nice.
And there you have it, Sentinels. That first buy round is fruitful. 3 rifles maintained. when the climb begins.
They were really doing the most. So Zelsa's going that route with the flank, but they ended up just killing everyone on the retake anyway, so all good. Nice. Able to just get that intuitive timing on the spam through for another player to swing.
Something sort of indicates to Billy that they need to rotate off that B side after they throw the high tide up, but Sen just cut noise and wait. They sort of respect that stall util. So Billy are in a bit of an awkward spot in the end when it comes to the side hit. They allow for a plant. Here's round 16 for you.
Early 0 point thrown John over towards pipes, which is going to be very common because YZ will love to just stand up there, activate the dash, go for an early fight. Oh my god, again, Neff, speaking of early fights, just wants to keep trying to get these tight angle picks in main and then fall away. That time, punished hard for it.
This is something we've seen Sen do already this tournament. On that attack side, punish these individual wide swings, risky plays from their opponents. And there's Zelsis. Sometimes the best laid plans go to waste. That one, though, at least results in a 1-for-1. And Sen have a pretty heavy-handed post-plant scenario now. And now I think Billy say, we don't have a whole lot to do here.
That was nice from Zelsis, just able to timing that drone. And again, this is another round where he gets a lot of information over towards A because Billy, they are so far pushed up. They are trying to drone that deep, which is pretty wild. And so he just knows that, hey, the rest of you just go on into B. It's either light or free at this point. I mean, most likely light, you know, with a one anchor playing far back, spam angle through Snowman, something like that. And so they're happy to just take that site for free yet again.
A bunch of questions about, you know, John moving into this more initiator-focused role. Some people speculated that after the Teo nerfs he'd move back, but he said, I feel it's much easier for me to call a macro game when I'm not lurking on the other side of the map playing Sentinel, much like Zelsis is in this round. Because I kind of want to be in the initiator shoes, I'm comfortable in this role, and I have a much better handle on both the micro and macro aspects of the game where I can play with the body of the team.
Yeah, nice to be able to have that utility to set up second, be very involved in the executes. Let's see what Billy up to do here. They are just going to half buy with the saved rifles. They don't want to commit too much. Their economy is definitely not great enough to do so. Rushi actually with the glass cannon Guardian, very rare, and has another record. So perhaps that could be enough to win this half buy round.
What he did with that Guardian earlier in that first half,
that was
should be studied.
That was disgusting.
Sentinels here, kind of enveloped by that high tide on A, and no hurry to leave for now, but this Al drone is likely going to reveal at least Zekken. So they know the Omen is there. On B, tentatively, Sen are starting to probe this part of the map, and Neff has to find a timing sort of to swing out, but sees nothing.
Bang has gotten in a great forward position. Neff will be falling back. Billy are happy to be stacked up towards A. They want to push up right now, but what a timing on that 0 point.
Guys, if you want, we can stream a
Sen actually going to back up on A. They are really working the map right now.
We can directly try
away from B. Sen found a good time to rotate, but likely will be sniffed out by Billy pretty darn quickly. They're going to make a 4-8 straight down mid. They'll get to B pretty quickly as a result. This Viper's wall, though, will be a factor and in play. Narrate's looking to try and get up a plant.
They're really trying to delay with these mollies, and in fact, if time gets low enough, they might want to use this Reckoning if they can stop the Wingman.
They didn't. Wingman gets the plant down.
Whoa,
John
that's...
Bang, get to work.
Oh, they got nuclear. Nice.
Blink, can you miss
7 on 10.
Billy try and interrupt the plant midway through, swing that wall, but they've got no idea what's waiting for them on the other side.
Deleted from the server. John is turning up. Another 3K. I think that's his third of the game so far. Deny that half by deny any value for the Reckoning, which is ultimately just thrown out the window now. Pop flash through. I love how John's playing this KO. We talk about him being set up teammates as an IQ, but also when you're in this KO role in a deepest listen you're one of the most active entry players, him and Zekken, and there will be a lot of moments where you're going to want to take time and swinging through Viper walls.
Why they're barking?
These very heavy flashes for Sen. Let them just play forward for that space in the post plant, get through their own Viper wall, take some of those engagements. Billy have to call a timeout here because Sen are they're doing the thing they've been doing, right? The whole only get 4 rounds on defense and then lay it on thick on the other side of the map. And this is Sentinels who lost this second half pistol, was still able to recover on that first gun round with 3 rifles in tow. And the economic situation in this half has been a far cry from what we saw in the first 12 rounds.
Great economic state. Ult's coming into this next pivotal buy round for Bilibili out of timeout. A difference between the two teams on their respective defensive halves is that because Bilibili got off to a hot start, they do have off money. That's something that they can bring into the fold heading forward, and they are going to do so. That's YZ picking it up. We'll see what they opt to do with this setup. Super common to just do something like, hey, get your Jet Opera to watch B main. Everybody else go stack towards that A side.
They don't have an Aldrone Sentinels to force that up, but Dizzy can have a similar effect. YZ is glass cannon here, so he probably has to be a little bit cognizant of that. Strong wind will blow him over.
Try and take this mid-cross, which is going to be, oh my god, okay!
We just said it! Not the kind of caster curse I'm sure YZ would have liked. No armor, very susceptible to that spray down through the smoke, and that's a high-value kill that Sen got. Zekken, though, is out of the game.
I like that confidence from Levius hearing the teleport. Swinging out to even things up. High tide to cycle when that Viper Wall drops. The lockdown is placed. To Bilibili try to fight or just get out. K-Knight is hoping to just get a spam kill before retreating out of it. They will play this safe.
There are, amidst this, getting Neff in a backstab position, but he's spotted out by the turret and actually has to call a cancel on that.
What the frick is the HP on Wingman?
Things up. K-Knight swings out. John, man, he's been solid. Finds his one. Rushi, though, has been very, very dangerous in situations not unlike this one. Zelsus knew this was coming. The turret got broken about 10-15 seconds ago, and he knew narrates. Okay. Gets in there and interrupts Rushia. Now Levius credited with that first kill of the round on Zekken. This is just too much to expect from him. And Narrate steps up to clean him out.
This is good, actually.
Not able to get an ounce of value. Bang just free spam through, gets that kill. And then Sen, very easy 1-2 hit with the ultimates. Lockdown, take the site. Everyone's off. Viper's pit, playing it with the post plant. It's just that simple sometimes.
You don't mess with
Celsius again with that awareness too to watch the flank. He is playing a great map right now. Really impressed by him.
Trying to
very
fight
smart
me?
more than anything.
See how it goes.
Null command on deck here for Sentinels. They're always the option for a fast hit behind that ultimate. There's going to be a somewhat eco round here. Neff going for that Guardian. Early high tide here just to cover that A side of the map as Bilibili look to hedge their bets through mid and B instead.
I'll tell you, Billy would love to be able to force some of these ultimates out on this round. So when they get to the next buy round, they can have the advantage in terms of the ult economy, with K-Nut being one away. Still holding on to their lockdown as well.
Bilibili have no current information about the A side of the map. So the Aldrone does get deployed. K-Knight needs to get an idea of the movements of Sentinels, and they've got a bit of info here. Blade Storm's at the ready for YZ. The timing looks pretty good. Here's nobody. Okay, just one affected by that 0 point. An income Sentinel trying to make this hit, but Bang is taken down. YZ eviscerates him now as K-Knight tries to crouch and spray. It's no good.
Long range Dead Frenzy, not going to do a whole lot. I mean, I like John using Null Command to turn those knives off, but he's just hungry for more. Traded out.
Still, YZ is in that flanking position. Sen know there might be a little bit of a clock, and the knives are back out and ready to go. But Narrate's getting into the game now. What a time to do it. Levius again, the last player standing. There's a lot to deal with. The turret.
Oh my god, turret kill.
I hate to see it.
I'm going to assume he stood up if I turn around or doing something after the turret kill. That's too funny. Okay, Bilibili, at least, like I said, all right, they get one of the ults out. The Null Command is forced because they want to ensure that YZ can't do anything on the flank with the Blade Storm after he kills Bang. And frankly, that did end up mattering. He had the angle. One of the players probably would have gotten a kill with the Blade Storm, but only had the Frenzy as that secondary. Yeah, as expected.
Yeah, they get that soundbite in there. Make sure we don't miss that one. Early thrash off the rip here over towards the B side of the map. Bilibili quickly have to give that space up as K-Knight's looking for a Hunter's Fury to light them up and sees nothing. Not a damn thing.
I was just hoping to, of course, catch Narrate there after he uses the Thrash. That is not the case, and Narrate should be able to recover that ult to use it again.
Second time that K-Knight's tried that. Last time was when Narrate thrashed out on defense. Zekin is, look at him, entrenched here in mid. Also, has his ultimate available. Where are we headed with that?
You want more?
SEN taking their time on the flanks, waiting to see if anyone is going to push out Thrash, clearing out everything. Front side does get the ping on the YZ, but certainly no one should be able to convert on that. He's way too far back.
I think they're going to try and fight this anyway.
Waiting for it.
He's recovered. Yeah, ships in the night. They pass through the dark, cover on either side of each other. Zekin has gotten deep, but YZ has a chance to pop out here, and Zelsus is not ready for it. There's a gap in the net. Zekin, though, himself is the cat amongst the pigeons. Tries to get away. The Reckoning deployed, and BLG able to catch him out. Deny SEN the chance to even up the game. We now get one step closer to claiming this map themselves.
That was almost so clutch from Zekin. Just didn't know exactly where he wanted to teleport. Waited one unfortunate extra second. At some point there, I believe Rusha got a kill, which was why he was able to get and then gets that Reckoning at the very last moment just to ensure that they can win this very crucial 2 versus 1.
YZ was able to slip through. He gets 2 kills on that retake. I think Zelsus is just not ready to see a Bilibili player come from there after Zekin already pushed into his own smoke like that. Awkward.
Does have the Viper's Pit. Does he want to just use this on B straight away? No, he doesn't. Expecting maybe there's going to be a Dizzy with a teleport up top from Zekin there. Wanted to post up on the angle.
Pretty patient from Neff. We saw Bang throw his down off rip in this context. Here's the Viper's Pit over in the B side.
To use it fairly late, but it'll deny the common plant spot.
Sentinels, though, still convinced there's a reason to linger.
Why is he pushed up very close? You can see the rotation that has been called due to that from Bilibili. All of the players stacked towards B, even with the Viper's Pit down there. SEN, they want nothing to do with it. You know, this comp that they have, it is lacking a tool to really effectively deal with getting through a pit. So they would rather go towards this A site. YZ is hoping to just get one and run away.
Doesn't have a tailwind. Always had to be like a natty peak. And again, he has no backup. He doesn't expose himself like some of his contemporaries did in this situation earlier this map.
30 seconds left.
Paranoia comes in, YZ unaffected though. He's going to be tucked here by the box, but Zekin knows where to dig him out. But here come the reinforcements.
The spike is so far forward.
It is out in the open. Zekin has to help John retrieve, and they're going to come forward. Playing from Crow's Nest now. It's Zekin in a 1 versus 3. Haroshi is too quick for him. 3 for the Harbor. Map point for Bilibili.
It's been a great effort for SEN to come back on this second half. But at the very last moment, Bilibili are looking like they're going to capture another win with Rusha and YZ both at 22 kills right now. That's what they finished with the other day when they played Icebox. And they've still got more rounds to push things further. They are playing so well. It was dangerous from YZ's point of view. This guy's committing to the site. He's trying to tuck. He spotted out. He had to break that molly. But Bilibili were so fast on that rotate back from B into the site that he got the support he needed.
And maybe Sentinels were a little ponderous. The way that they allowed for Bilibili to get back into that site.
And scaling so close to screens with the spike was an element of the loss of that round.
Yeah, but it might have been narrate with that in hand. Maybe just a mix-up on where the Gecko was supposed to be in that situation. Made it virtually unrecoverable, especially with Bilibili flooding back in as they did. So last time out here for Sentinels. A good run back, reminiscent again, I'm going to say it, of their game against Wolves. But this time Bilibili have stopped their momentum dead.
तो आपको याद होगा आज से कुछ
गलती से प्ले हो गया कॉपीराइट नहीं कॉपीराइट लग जाएगा गंदा वाला लोडिंग में टाइम क्यों ले रहा है ये
this game out, take their map pick.
मैंने हगा
Dialed in our Sentinel.
What the frick is happening?
They know they've got a hill to climb. Does he catch his YZ? But he's hanging on the rope for the time. What am I watching? He still crosses. The sheer audacity from this guy eventually
Tailwind's going to get him back to safety. Billy, though, happy to rattle the cage a little bit.
Russia wants to go for more as well, just trying to take a little jiggle peek, catch someone before his exit.
Chat, we are having net issues. थोड़ा wait करो. Yes, we are having net issues. रुको मैं restart करके आता हूँ.
No respect for Billy here.
They're happy on defense right now to just maintain those stacked up positions towards A, play B for retake. It's just the alarm bot.
Recon dart available, so.
Does K-Knight just have the sixth sense right now?
He's hanging around, doesn't? Oh god, he's still holding that line. Zelsys is about to walk into a trap, and K-Knight from the
Rafters hangs, it doesn't matter! What a win for Zelsys! Now it's a step forward for Sentinels, but much more to be done. Look at this rotate.
He has called every single player.
That they have to go back to this A site center, fully cut noise after getting space back yellow on B. Zelsys caught, so things are evened up, but the plant will be going down 4-3 right now.
He single-handedly opens this opportunity for Sen to get an uncontested B-side plant. Trades his life out, he's done his job for now.
John has a strong amount of utility to play with here as well. Actually has both flashes. They didn't need to use it to take back yellow earlier. He's got the molly for delay. Second is a paranoia. Gonna be tough for Billy to get back in. They do have a cove maybe to get a safe defuse. They're hoping to use it there. Yep, it's going to be activated.
Paranoia throwing out second, just a little too slow to the punch. Narrate tucked in the corner, he knows he's going to be overwhelmed, and Wisey wants to push up into the rest of the defenders. The high tide comes down, and so does the curtain on this first map for Sentinels. The dragon stirs, and Billy are eyeing off that playoff spot. What a way to start.
It looked like Sen were on pace for another comeback in the first map, just like what they did to Wolves yesterday. But Billy winning that pistol round on the second half, closing things out, making adaptations at the end, and finish it off with a great retake and an all-star performance from both Wisey and Russia.
299 ACS for Wisey, not too shabby at all. A strong start for Billy. Much to discuss about this map for that. We're going to head to a break, we'll come back, we'll talk some shot.